Hello, and welcome back to another video. My name's Roxy from creativemamadesigns.com, and in today's video, it's another one that is part of our Design With Me series. Basically, I uncover an untapped, unsaturated digital product for you, and then we go into making that product. So you'll be looking over my shoulder as I design this product, and then you can follow along as well. And by the end of the video, you will have your own ready-made digital product ready to sell wherever you please. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure you stay till the end, because there's also something really special that I've got for you too. So without further ado, let's jump in. Oh, but before we start, let me introduce you to my gorgeous downloadable freebie. It's PLR rights, so it comes with commercial use rights. It is completely free, ready-made, ready to sell, ready to go. Whether you want to sell it on Etsy, on your own website, or anywhere else in between, it is there. So make sure you click the link in the description to secure your copy today. So let me reveal to you what we're going to be making today. It is a set of calm corner signs. So this particular niche is aimed at children, and it's kind of a way for them to be able to practice mindfulness. It kind of has prompts when a child is maybe feeling a bit upset, angry, you know, all those different emotions. And it's really nice for them to then be able to refer to those signs, those posters, to help them to get themselves more in alignment with breathing techniques and, you know, reducing those levels of anger or upset. It's also a way of promoting self-esteem and positivity and self-love as well for children. So a really lovely niche. So when I am looking for products to design, when I say unsaturated and untapped products that can be sold on Etsy or wherever else, there are certain kind of factors that I like to see in order to know whether I should go ahead and make a product for that particular niche. So what I like to see on Etsy especially is that the search results are coming back at less than about 3,000. Etsy has millions and millions of different products being sold every day. There are so many products on their platform. And so if I can find a particular niche or a sub-niche that has less than 3,000 results, then it's always that first starting point for me to be like, okay, I want to look at this further. So calm corner sign, there is only 1,935 results. So that's already a plus in my book. What I then like to look at is I like to assess whether there are any bestsellers, or like to see if they're in any of these products are in people's baskets. So what I'll do is I'll just click into a couple now. So this one is a bestseller. Fantastic. You can see that there, the bestseller sign. It is in 20 baskets. So again, that's another tick in my book, another 2 ticks in my book. I also then can look at the reviews and see what people are saying about this particular product, see how many reviews there are, because usually the rule of thumb with reviews is if you have 20 reviews, as it says here, then you would times that by about 100, and that lets you know exactly, well, not exactly, but it gives you a rough estimate as to how many have been sold or are being sold. So to further validate this, I like to use several tools just to back up my validation of a niche of a product, and one of them is called Everbee. And what I use Everbee to do is to kind of financially validate this particular idea or any other product ideas that I may have. So I've typed in calm corner sign here. I've got the Everbee extension, and I will click onto the left over here, and it says I click product analytics over here. And then what that does is it assesses all the different listings on that first page of Etsy. It can go beyond the first page, but I generally just kind of take into account that first page only. And it will assess these, and it gives you lots of different data about it. It gives you rough estimated monthly sales, monthly revenue, total sales, reviews, listing age, favorites. So it's a really great way of peeling back some more of the layers, finding out more about your competition, and, you know, just being able to dig deeper as to whether it's a product you want to make for your own store. So what I would next do is sort by monthly sales. And so the bestseller on this front page is doing really well. They do about 82 sales per month, and the revenue is 1,982, which is absolutely fantastic. Really amazing to see these kind of sales. And then the ones that come underneath, they are still really healthy monthly revenue as well. So there is money to be made in this niche. And the fact that it is so untapped, there aren't very many results coming up in Etsy for it. It just means that we have a greater chance of making a really high-end product and then being able to compete with not as many other products as maybe something a bit broader or a bit more competitive. And so those are the things I like to see. The other product I like to use when I'm doing my research is another tool called Sales Samurai. So I might interchange. I might use some Everbee one day. I might use Sales Samurai. It really depends. Or I might just use them all together. But what I like to see within this tool is I look at the Etsy SV, which stands for Etsy sales volume. I like to look at the click-through rate and the Etsy competition. So the numbers I generally like to see here is the search volume. As long as it's showing a number, as long as it's showing something, as long as it's not 0 or NA, which stands for not applicable, that's what I like to see, because it just shows that there is traffic, people are looking up those products, and that it's just validating that kind of thing. Etsy click-through rate is really high. I generally like to go for at least about 5%, depending on the product. So this is really healthy. It means that the people that are coming onto that first page, looking at those products, they are clicking through and generally they're buying, which is great. Etsy competition, I generally like to see under 3,000 for this. And this competition basically refers to all the different products that are targeted to this particular keyword. What you sometimes find is that you might be on a page and you're looking through the products, and then it suddenly veers away from that original keyword that you're looking for. So you might go on to the next page and you're not seeing calm corner prints, you're seeing something completely different. So where Sales Samurai does their assessment is they're looking for those products that are really targeted to that particular product and that particular keyword. So that's what I like to look for. So these are all ticks in my book. Well, now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's jump in and make our products. Oh, but before we start designing, let me introduce you to my upcoming monthly membership. It's going to be really high value. If you've been around my channel, you will see that I love to uncover different product niches, different product ideas. And basically, this membership gives you access to a whole library of ready-made, ready-to-sell, PLR, commercial use enabled products for wherever it is you want to sell them, whether that be Amazon KDP, Etsy, your own website, anything else in between. It is there, and you will have a ready-made library of amazing, really high quality products. So if you are interested, then please go and click the link in the description to express your interest in the membership. And when it is released, you will get a really amazing first member offer. So now let's design our calm corner signs. So we're in Canva over here, and we're going to I design all my printables and my products in Canva. It's an amazing tool. And if you don't know about it, it is free to use. So definitely check it out and follow along. So I'm going to click custom size here, and I'm going to change this from pixels to inches. And I'm going to do the general rule of thumb is 8.5 by 11. So we're going to put that in, create new design. And then I will name this Calm Corner Signs. So we've got our blank canvas here. So let's begin. So I'm only going to do, we've seen that these calm corner signs, they're generally in bundles. So they're not really sold as individuals. You see, there's a set of 14 here. There's a set of 38, 40, 50. So, it's generally more than one, I guess, to put in a frame up on the wall. This one actually only has 6. So there's a range of different numbers of posters that you could make or signs that you could make for your bundle. For this, for the sake of time, I'm only going to do about 3 or 4 different signs. And then if you want to do more, then you can add whatever you'd like. So let's do the kind of introductory sign, I would say. So let's press T, my calm corner. So what I like to do is initially put the text, arrange the text on my sign, and then I'll go in and change out the fonts and add cute elements and things like that. But I just like to get the foundation right at the beginning. So I'm going to make that bigger, position it in the center. I think I'm going to go for a really cute, colorful rainbow theme. So I need to remember that I might actually put a rainbow element here just to remind myself. Who doesn't love rainbows? So rainbow, and I make sure to choose the free elements, and then I go into graphics, and I really like, I like these, I like this, it's nice. So I'm just going to just leave that there, just so that I remember that's the kind of elements I'm looking for. So this will be like the initial introductory kind of sign. And it's like a prompt for the child to know that this is where I'm going, this is my calm corner, and just really nice like that. So the next one might be some like kind of affirmation or positive sentences, positive quotes. Okay, so we're going to press T and we're going to put our affirmations on this page. So I'm going to make it bigger, 1. And then, so I kind of like to make sure it's in between this kind of, you'll see where it signals, so that it leaves a nice border basically around the edge. And I'm going to start with, I am special. And then I'll copy and paste that. And then put something here, kind, I am kind. Oops. Oh my goodness. I am kind. And then I will copy and paste that again. I am patient. These are just really easy to come up with. They're just, you know, nice affirmational sayings, nice I am kind of sayings. I am strong. What else? I am important. I am good at listening. And maybe just one more. I am enough. And so that's really nice. And I put them in the middle, but I might actually just have them kind of justified to the left. So let me do that now. I have done that now. And so if you now want to make sure that the spacing is correct, so what I usually do is I would just, you know, kind of eyeball it to start with. I know that isn't completely correct, but then what I would next do is highlight all of those, go to position, and then space. So this little tab here where it says space evenly, I'll click vertically, and then that kind of automatically spaces out all those words in an equal fashion. So that's a really cool hack there. So we have our calm corner kind of introductory poster sign. Then we've got our kind of affirmation sign there. Like I said, we are just putting the wording and things like that, the foundational elements there. And then we'll go in and pretty them up and make them more child friendly. Next, we might do a kind of feelings page. So this will be like a page that has different faces on it to express, for the child to then maybe point to and refer to express how they're feeling. So let's put the title again here. Make sure it's within that box. And how I am feeling. Or it could be a question, how am I feeling? Either way, it depends on, you know, what you feel is best. But I'm going to say, how am I feeling? I'm going to type in emojis. And then you may get this option. You may have already downloaded it into your Canva account already, but it sometimes suggests apps to you that you can use that will help to streamline the process of your design. So here I've got use app, and then it's going to bring up all the different emojis that we might want to use in this design. So the first one I would say is happy, and then sad. So let's see if sad is here. And then just make that centered. Looks like it needs to be a bit smaller. Maybe this one should be a bit smaller. And then another emotion will be angry. And then I'll group that and make sure that it's positioned in the center, and then ungroup. Then I would copy and paste it down just so that we are making sure that the rest of them are all the right size. So other emotions might be tired. Okay, another emotion might be scared. Another one might be confused. And then another one might be surprised. And maybe excited. Or so maybe another one might be silly. So I might put like a monkey emoji there. Make that a little bit smaller. And then lastly, we might say this one, excited. So and lastly, we might use this one to denote excitement. So there we've got these. And so what we would then do is put the actual feeling underneath. So this one's happy. Make it a bit smaller. Make sure it's aligned. This one is sad. This one is angry. And then again, just copy all of those. Paste. Paste again. Bring that down to the bottom. And then we might need to resize these again. So this one was, I believe, tired. This one was, oh, I can't remember what that one was. I think this one's confused. This one was scared. This one was surprised. This one was silly. And this one was excited. So then all you do, so where it's kind of going off the page a little bit, I would then highlight all of these and then just make it a little bit smaller so that it fits within the area that we want it to. So that's our how am I feeling page. So the last page we might do is a page that kind of signals different ways for the child to calm down. So my ways to calm down. So I'm going to just remove these again. And ways to calm down. I mean, you might want to, something like this, you might want to, if you've got kids, you might want to ask them how they like to calm down, or just think about how you like to calm down. So for me personally, I like to read a book. So I'm going to, that's quite nice. And then listen to music. So again, let's make sure they're free elements. And I actually like these elements. They kind of are quite uniform with each other. I like the way they look. So when you find elements that you like the look of, click these 3 little buttons here, and then it will say see more like this. And so then it means that we are then able to choose from a whole library of elements that kind of have the same look and feel in a way. I mean, I know these aren't completely exactly the same, but they are quite similar. So we've got read a book here, we've got listen to music. What else? Maybe go for a walk, or one here is see if there's any here that are could have sing. This isn't quite the same element though. Another one might be play a sport, or like do some exercise. I'm gonna put this one in the middle here. What else? Another one else might be maybe have a meal or have a snack or something like that. So that one's there. Make that one bigger. And then lastly, maybe dance could be another one. But we just need to make sure that we can get an element that is closely aligned to these ones here. Found another one that kind of looks quite like it. So this one's like a dance, you know, that's a way to calm down would be to dance. So I started to put the labels underneath each of them. So we've got read here, copy and paste that down. Eat a snack, copy and paste again. Dance, copy and paste that again. Listen to music, and then copy and paste that again. Make sure that is in the center, and that this is in the center. Play a sport. So you might have other calming techniques. This is just, I'm just trying to do this as quick and easy to follow as possible. Now, what we then do, so we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4 different posters here. So I said I wanted a kind of a rainbow vibe. And we can still follow a rainbow type vibe, but we would, because we've already got these elements here, we don't need to put too many rainbows in them. So, but with that in mind, let me go back to rainbow, make sure it's free, see all, and then we can kind of just add some small rainbows around the page. So I might want to see all, make sure that they are free. These are so pretty as well. And then I might leave that one as it is because there's quite a lot of elements there, and leave this one the way it is. Now we want to change the font scheme. So a nice font would be, a nice kiddie themed font would be one that I can remember is One Little font. And then what we would do, or maybe this one, so we'll go for that one, and then change all, and that will change all the fonts across this whole product here. So let me make sure that that is bigger and centered. So as you can see, it's changed it across the board, which is great. All we want to do is just resize some of this so that it stands out a bit more. So we'll just make this bigger, again center, make that bigger, 4, make sure it's centered, and then you might want to add some color to these. So once it's got some elements that have cut some colorful elements on the page, it then Canva has a really cool way of just picking up the colors across your product, and then you can use that to make sure that you're creating a product that is kind of succinct and that is uniform across the board. So these are the colors it's picked up. You can click see all to see all of them. I'm going to make that color. I'm just going to go through and choose all the different colors that it's giving me, and it's just a really nice way of making sure that everything is all gelling and working in a really nice way. Lastly, which one have we not used? Might want to make these bigger, not necessarily, but you can. And then as you can see, we now have our calm corner and printable signs. These are just 4, as I said. I don't want this video to go on too long, but this is a really great start of a really pretty printable that we can then get up in our stores as soon as possible and hopefully run some ads, if not make some sales, because it is quite an unsaturated and untapped niche. So if you made it this far, well done. This was a bit of a longer video, but hopefully you got a lot of value from it. Hopefully you've come away with your own starting of a calm corner, really lovely printable bundle that you can sell wherever it is that you sell, whether that's Etsy or on your own website. hopefully you got something to take away from that. If you made it till the end, then well done. I actually am going to be gifting you the design that we made today. So you have access to that. If you click the link in the description below, you'll get access to that, as well as hopefully if you did make your own as you were following along, then great. That's just even more content for you, digital products for you to use in order to build your library. That's it from me today. If you haven't already, make sure you download your other freebie, which is the PLR bullet journal. You've got this one here. Make sure you sign up for the membership if you want to, if you're interested in that. And until next time, all the very best. And don't forget to like and subscribe.